Hattie. Not really a cowboy hat, I know, but it's the closest thing I had. It's also made of leather and it's somewhat heavy, so I'll be damned if I'm wearing it through the entire playthrough. Anyway, welcome to Rosewater, a game which I think it's fair to say I have been eagerly anticipating pretty much since it was first announced. I think he said it's been 6 years in the making, mainly because it's from Francisco Gonzalez, aka Grundislav Games, and Grundislav easily in my top 3 of game developers when it comes to adventure games, right up there with Wajidai Games and, of course, Cyan. But also, I was actually one of a lucky handful of people that got to play a very early, I think, alpha build of the game. Obviously, it wasn't anywhere near complete. I only had one puzzle, and I think it had assets from other games, if I remember correctly. I think I saw a sprite of Amy from Shardlight in there somewhere. Yeah, what can I say? Again, it's Grundislav. We know we're in for a good time. So why are we wasting time? Let's just get right into it. Ride him cowboy and all that shit, I guess. I don't know.
Boarded the 743 from Pierre-Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of, in the literal or metaphorical sense. Just a little hope. And that doesn't take up much space.
Well, that feels. Damn. Got starring credits and everything.
Much has been said about the western frontier. The
This
perilous
one's gone all
wilderness, the
Hollywood.
lawless towns, and the tough, hardened folk who make their way out there. Usually to get away from something worse. I suppose I'm about to become one of them myself. There's just one thing Rosewater's got that no place else has. An opportunity with my name on it.
Sprite animation already looks so goddamn gorgeous.
The thoughts in my head are running together like the landscape outside the window. Excitement and trepidation and boredom mixing like the scrub and rocks and soil into one long blur.
So that's our main character, Harley Leger. And fun fact about her, since I sip my coffee and the credits end.
One thing I know, I am ready for a change of scene.
Western Vespuccia. You don't say.
Huh. Quiet.
What?
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jim. And who do I have the honor
Hey, they call me
of
Jim
greeting?
too.
Harley Leger.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
Yeah, I
I
think you're
don't.
looking at it, pal.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Leger?
Oh, cool. We'll answer him in a minute. So anyway, the fun fact about Harley Leger. The one thing I know about Rosewater is it is a, well, I was going to say follow-up, but I don't know if it's necessarily a follow-up or sequel, but it's set in the same universe as Grundislav's previous game, Lamplight City. That's why the game said it takes place in Western Vespuccia, not like Arizona, Texas, or anywhere recognizable like that. It's sort of like a alternate universe Earth, I think, was the explanation. But anyway, yeah, it's set in the same universe, and Harley Leger, in fact, is related to one of the main characters from Lamplight City, Bill Leger, I think his name was. But anyway, what brings us here? Here for a job, passing through, none of your business. I won't be honest with him. Why did I try to press a number key?
Miss. And I'm here about a job.
Planning on sticking around, huh? Say, what line of work are you in?
If you must know, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution.
Why do I think that's
Rosewater
bullshit?
ain't always such a sleepy little town.
That's why I think it's bullshit.
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing.
Do it! Oh no, I want to punch him even more.
Enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl.
Yeah, let's go with
But
that
I
one.
at least had some brains. Word of advice, kid. Don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about. Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office?
Okay, walk and interact, left click, double click to skip walking, inventory, press I, right click, menu, scan, show objects, hold O, middle mouse button, cool. Okay, what have we got here?
October 25th, 1850. Dear Miss Leger, thank you for submitting your sample. Your writing shows real potential. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me at the offices of the Rosewater Post and discuss the possibility of an extended commission. How soon can you arrive in town? I await your reply and look forward to making your acquaintance. Yours, Joan Gallagher.
That reminds me, I really need to work on my Irish accent. For a second, I thought I was giving the middle finger to that door. Fuck this building in particular. Let's see, I got the sheriff, I got let's go this way. Okay, I got blacksmith, got physician. Looks like the bank at the edge of the screen there. Rosewater Post, there we are. Do what we came to do first, and then we'll have a look around the town. Oh yeah, I'm gonna like working here. You know what? Yeah. It's just too funny to not do.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here
Yes,
about
how
the
much to
writing
get thrown out of a window?
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Leger. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please?
Oh.
Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Was that the autosave sound, or did that just happen at the same time? If that was the autosave sound, I'd love it. Anyway. Suppose I could look around the office, but I might do that later. Let's get the plot going.
Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Leger.
Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please take a load off. Whiskey?
Bit early for me, but thanks all the same.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind.
Yeah, I noticed.
Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
I don't believe so, no.
Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you.
Life story, succinct biography, avoid the question. Neither one, I think, seems interested in a full life story, Harley, and giving it Joan and listening to it. I don't know if I'm quite ready to be thrown out a window just yet, so let's stick with a succinct biography.
Me? Well, I was born and raised in New Britannia, got out, made my way west, and started writing. I saw your ad while I was up in Pierre. Thought a change of scenery would do me good.
Well, admittedly, Rosewater isn't as cosmopolitan as it used to be, but maybe you'll find it to your liking.
There hasn't been a dull moment since I stepped off the train.
Speaking of, your writing
That's
sample
for sure.
had me in stitches. I haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself, but your descriptions of the Toffs in Lyon, hilarious.
That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually.
Oh? What brought that about?
Go with the truth, sure.
I had to go back and settle my late brother's affairs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so
I
it's
hope it
after
wasn't in
Lamplight
connection
City.
with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo.
Oh, no, it was before that.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But you know, I can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you a commission. I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Hot damn.
Hot damn. So, what's my assignment? A scathing commentary on Rosewater's decline? Or maybe a hard-hitting exposé on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Who?
Pull the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend. The Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. A star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, you're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town.
Where can I find this Jake fellow?
He's taking rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road. And his show is opening today at the Opera House. So he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask.
Sure. So, tell me about
Rosewater
Lamplight City.
Post reported on the Lamplight City Expo?
It was only the biggest story that year. I still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for yourself.
Oh, nice. Lore. Very tiny lore. Disaster at Lamplight City Expo. The etheric pavilion at the Global Exposition in New Britannia, Kingsland, was the site of a terrifying disaster that claimed 15 lives on Saturday. During a demonstration by etheric researcher Dr. Bennett Clark, a device known as an etheric generator malfunctioned and released a burst of energy into the audience, instantly vaporizing 14 attendees and one stage assistant. An eyewitness described the scene for the New Britannia Gazette. The thing started up with a great crackling noise, startling the ladies in attendance and raising several cries of excitement. In the next instant, there was a blinding flash of light. After that was just screams and a horrible burning smell. From where I stood, I could see that a bunch of folks gathered to one side of the apparatus were just gone. All that was left were shoes and hats and things in a pile of ash. And the worst thing was, their shadows were still on the wall behind. A controversial figure in the scientific community, Dr. Clark has championed novel theories on the existence of ethericity, a supposedly inexhaustible source of energy located in the upper atmosphere. The Etheric Pavilion, an exhibit jointly sponsored by Kessling Industries, Harmon & Grove, and Eastern Consolidated Coal, was intended to showcase the technology's potential before a global audience. Although public enthusiasm may be somewhat dampened following the events of last weekend, Dr. Clark was taken in for questioning by authorities, but it remains to be seen whether he or any of his sponsors will be held legally responsible for the lives lost in the accident. So if I remember correctly from Lamplight City, ethericity is sort of this universe's equivalent of electricity. It's sort of a brand new technology, just now overtaking coal, that sort of thing. We got the scene of the horror there, too. Nice. Well, maybe not so nice, depending on who you were and if you got vaporized and whatnot, but still, nice. Gilroy Mine to close. Silas Gilroy announced on Friday that his Aurum mine, gold I guess, would cease operations at the end of the month. This marks the third major mine closure in the past year, in addition to many smaller claims that have... Hi, how you doing? in addition to many smaller claims that have been consolidated and sold cheaply or abandoned. Like every other prospector who hauled out here, I was hopeful after early results were so strong. But those deeper veins have failed to turn up, said Mr. Gilroy. It's all sparkle and no show. The mine's closure will deal yet another blow to Rosewater's fortunes, leaving over 40 men out of work. I need some stronger coffee. My mouth is just on strike. Fuck. PM calls for etheric ban. Prime Minister Hart Leroy wasted no time in condemning the Lamplight City Expo disaster and called on Parliament to impose a ban on etheric research. Despite predictable opposition from the Atwood wing, MPs may be more receptive to Leroy's proposal in the wake of the disaster. A vote is expected to be called in the coming weeks. Supporters of Clark's research insist that an isolated incident does not invalidate the potential benefits of etheric technology, but public opinion may be tipping in favor of the ban.
Can I keep this?
Frame it if you like.
Thanks. Do I have to write about Jake?
I don't want to seem ungrateful, but couldn't I write about
I'm
something
ungrateful.
else? My style is more observational than, talking to people. I don't know that that's really my strong suit.
We're talking, aren't we? If you want to write for this paper, you're simply going to have to stretch yourself beyond what you might be accustomed to. Besides, it's not as if you have to say anything particularly brilliant. Just get your subject talking and take notes. Finish this assignment, and maybe the next one will be more to your liking.
Same, Harley. Same. I just talking to no. Oh, fine.
So, who was the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope.
Oh, God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but... well, it didn't go that way.
I see.
I mean, to be fair, I think he succeeded. He was pretty calm when I saw him.
Any insight you can give me about the town?
It's a far cry from what it used to be. In a way, it's nice not having to hear the noise from the saloon at all hours, but... oh, I don't know. Folk who moved on took some of the charm with them.
Yeah, sure. Tell me about him.
What about the folks who stayed behind?
What about him?
Tell me about that. Yeah, what's keeping him here?
If so many have left, what's keeping anyone around?
Some are stubborn, maybe. Some are just stuck. But I can only answer for myself. I've put too much work into this paper and this community to think of leaving it behind. As for everyone else, you'd have to ask them yourself.
I'm curious, how did the Rosewater Post get its start?
Well, my dad was a union man. He worked the printing press for the Allied Fall Creek Miners Cooperative. Pamphlets, labour news, that sort of thing. Then the mine owners brought the Blackburns in to bust the whole operation up. My dad was laid up for months and could never work again after. But we still had to eat, didn't we? I took all the equipment from the old shop and started printing up an early version of the Post just to bring a little money in. At first, it was all just community notices and advertisements from local stores. Over time, I got the hang of the whole journalism thing and turned it into a real newspaper.
I'd best be on my way.
Right you are. Wait a minute.
What?
It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley.
Goodness. It's been a long time since anyone called me that.
I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life.
Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational.
Thanks, Joan.
Why do I have a
Appreciate it.
suspicion that
Of course.
other life is going to come
Please
back
call me Joni.
in this game at some point? Diary updated. I got a diary? Why do I have diagrams of locks? Is this my diary? I guess it's my diary. Okay, cool. Warded lock. No key for me. Turn the hook freely. Oh, and I got 20 crowns. Cool. Padlocks. Wiggle the key to start the fun, then take the snake for a long, long run. What? Deadbolts. Tense the key and choose the snake. Look round as you give it a shake. Harley, were you drunk when you read this? Or wrote this? Tumbler locks. The key stays still, the diamond shines, turns up just once, then down 3 times. Now, the one thing I do remember about that early alpha build of the game that I played, the one, I don't know if it was the only puzzle in that build of the game, but the one I remember is I was locked up and I had to pick the lock to get out. So maybe this has something to do with that. What? Probably clearly has something to do with that, but anyway. Boarded the 743 from Pierre, Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of in the literal or this is just the opening narration. The dusty streets of Rosewater. People are the same everywhere, rotten, grasping, and two-faced. I've passed not 10 minutes in this town and already it feels like home. A couple of street kids take advantage of the deserted thoroughfare to waylay and fleece new arrivals, full in front of the sheriff's office, no less. A rascal by the name of Jem, self-styled town greeter, carries off a whole routine while his young confederate, none too skilled in technique nor yet hardened to this way of life, clumsily attempts to relieve the mark of valuables, the mark on this regrettable occasion being me. The distractor made himself scarce, and I eventually shooed the pickpocket away with a stern warning. I wonder if I'm too lenient. Perhaps it would have been a kindness to show the bumbling innocent just how wretched his path can be before he's traveled too far along it. I can't say a part of me didn't itch to. The old impulses are hard to resist. If some charitable soul had had the decency and consideration to black my eyes and break my bones at that tender age once and for all, frightening me back into the arms of virtue, what saner course might my life have followed? The offices of the Rosewater Post. This town does not lack for liveliness. I was at the point of presenting myself at the offices of the Rosewater Post when I was nearly flattened by a new Spanish fellow being hurled out the second-story window onto the street below. Ascertaining that the fall wasn't fatal and the events precipitating it weren't my business, I stepped around him and went inside. The defenestrator turned out to be none other than my prospective employer, Editor-in-Chief Joan Gallagher. No wonder Harley's a writer. She's got a freaking huge-ass vocabulary. Who takes no guff, stands on no formalities, and asks to be called Joni. Seems the man was some disgruntled reader taking issue with the latest issue. So Joni issued him out the window. I already like Harley. The interview then proceeded as though nothing was amiss and no hot breeze could be felt gusting through the jagged glass. I gave a brief account of myself, but it seems my writing sample itself was credit enough. I found Joni a very amiable fellow, and I don't say that about just anyone who gushes over my scribblings and offers me good-paying work and a shot at a whole new kind of life. But you could have knocked me down with a feather when Joni pointed at me right straight into my soul and called me a name I haven't heard in a long, long time. Bob? Or no, Spitfire Harley. It must have been 15 years since I boxed under that moniker back in the Chum, but believe it or not, Joni was there to see it, and moreover remembered me. I suppose I made an impression somehow, and not only in some poor bastard's face with my fists. But I got what I came here for. The arrangement is not yet permanent, but I have my first assignment. I'm to conduct an interview with an entertainer called Gentleman Jake, or Jake Ackerman, who is performing locally, and write an article showing him the town in a flattering light, a puff piece, to put it plain. The show is at the Opera House, and he is to be found in the Jack of Diamonds saloon. Though this town is small enough that I could, like as not, stand at the crossroads and yell, Jake! Jake from State Farm! And find him in earshot no matter his address. These are not exactly the literary endeavors I envisioned, but it is an actual job for actual money. Ye gods, what is wrong with my mouth? So I will swallow my pride, lick my pen, and puff for all I'm worth, which is about 45 crowns, it would seem. All right. So, can we look around? All right. Let's see what Joni's got in her office here.
Fascinating device.
Isn't it just? To think, I can send messages from here to Bright Bay with the press of a lever.
What will they think of next?
Oh, so I guess that's like a Vespuccian equivalent of like a, I was going to say fax, but this is too old a time for that, but like a teletype or telegraph machine.
Nice typewriter.
A first. Good old Sheldon Model 4.
Your dad?
You support Leroy?
Oh, never
A
mind.
proud Labourite, sure. I'll admit he hasn't been my favourite PM. But the way things were going with Atwood and the Traitus, this place would have been swallowed up by an automated newspaper conglomerate. Labour Party gets me vote any day of the week.
Fair enough. The New Britannia Gazette. Keeping tabs on the competition?
Hardly. I kept that issue because they mentioned my paper.
Hey, that's Devil's Tooth. I passed it on the train right here.
Quite a sight, isn't it?
Is this the first edition of the Rosewater Post?
Yep, March 30th, 1845. One of the best days of me life.
Nice. 1840. So this is 1850, I think? Okay, cool. So they've been in business 5 years. Nice cane.
That's quite a stick.
A memento from my grandfather back in County Donegal. Comes in handy now and again.
I hope fixing that window won't be too expensive.
I may just leave it for a while. I'm enjoying the breeze.
It's also the 8th person we've chucked out the window
you
this
later,
week. It's
Joni.
fine.
Take care of yourself out there. Spitfire Harley, writing for my paper. Now don't that just beat all?
Okay, so I'm guessing that's the typewriter she wanted us to work at. Let's go ahead and write the article now. I think we haven't talked to Jake yet. We don't even know where he is. We haven't seen him. I think we know what we need to know. Let's just get to typing. Now we'll look at it.
Cozy.
Short and sweet. Let's talk to our friend here, whose name I've already forgotten.
Excuse me?
How can I be of assistance?
What's to know about this town?
You picked a fine time to arrive, Miss Leger.
Why's that?
A few years back, you could hardly drive a wagon through the street. It was so full of folk coming and going. I'm sure you've noticed that's no longer the case.
So where did everyone go?
Wherever the Orem actually is would be my guess. There's still some prospectors hanging on, convinced they'll find something everyone else missed. I'm sure they'll all come to their senses eventually.
If they all go, where will that leave you?
Why, getting by, I imagine. Peaceful, quiet life. The railroad still brings some traffic. Folks on their way further west or shipping goods back east. Although not as many as before the transcontinental airship line opened up. Easier to sail clear over the country than ride the rails halfway. Suits me fine, though.
Been working here long, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, about 5 years. I was the first one Joni hired on shortly after launching the paper. Was a farmhand before that. Keeping books is much nicer than tending cow pens, let me tell you.
I can imagine.
Anything I should know about the townsfolk?
Can't really help you there. I'm just a simple family man, and we keep to ourselves.
I swear I've heard this guy's voice before. Sounds familiar, but I can't place the name.
Exactly who was that gentleman just took a tumble out your second-story window?
I haven't a clue. Devil of a fella. Just busted in here and went straight for Joni's office. He wouldn't be put off, but insisted on speaking with the editor immediately. Said he intended to lodge a complaint. Suppose Joni didn't take too kindly to his manner of lodging.
Those are some mighty fine whiskers you've got.
Oh, why, thank you, Miss Leger. The missus tells me I ought to shave, but I'm fond of the look.
As you should be. I'll leave you to your work.
Appreciate it, ma'am.
I expect to hear a lot of familiar voices, actually, because both Wadjet and Grundislaw games tend to use not the same actors, but they tend to draw mostly from the same pool of people. In fact, the woman voicing Joni, I thought I recognized her voice through the Irish accent. If it's who I think it is, Irish isn't her natural accent, but still. There's a couple people I'd be very surprised if we don't hear from in this
Impressive
game.
piece of machinery. They seem to be pretty active around here. I hope that means steady work.
All right, I think we've seen enough. Is our friend still on the ground? Oh, nope, he got up and left. Either that or somebody carted him off. Okay. So, Gentleman Jack is at the Jack of Diamonds. Uh-huh. And he's going to be performing at the Opera House. Do we want to go talk to him yet? Let's look around some more, see what all is in this town. We've already seen this, and the sheriff's office, and the doctor's office. There's the saloon, the Jack of Diamonds.
Was your meeting satisfactory, ma'am?
Quite so. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
Hey, head on down the street. They got people getting chucked out the window. All right, so there's the Jack of Diamonds. What we got going on here with the wanted poster?
Looks like it's been up for ages. I wonder if they ever caught the guy. Or maybe he retired from crime. Or died of old age.
I was trying to get a good look at it, see if maybe there was an Easter egg.
Wonder if the whiskey here is any better than the rock gut back in Pierre.
Probably not.
Horse pills? Is that pills for horses or pills made from horses? Or both?
There's a guy smoking a pipe and wearing a hat. My kind of fellow. Alright, we got an undertaker over here. General store, it looks like. Let's see what's down this way. Oh, the Opera House. That's where Gentleman Jake's going to be. Alright, cool. Looks kind of run down.
Betrayal, murder, revenge. Classic stuff. Never works out that way in real life. Dr. Bennett Clark, Master of Ethericity. All right, the Ethericity fellow. I didn't know he was working out here.
Gentleman Jake's Wild West. Thrills, excitement, gunplay. Oh, hell yeah. Debating whether I want to look around at some of the other places or just go on into the Jack of Diamonds. Yeah, let's go on in. Why not? Ooh, big button on the wall. Very tempted to press it. Probably shouldn't press it. But I want to press it.
Warning. Watch the dang door. Signed, Management.
This dang door or that dang door? Or that one? Or that? There. Which? You got like 7 doors in the building. You gotta be more specific.
Food delivery for the lazy.
Oh, that's a dumb waiter. Okay, cool. Press the button.
Now that is mighty tempting.
Yes, it is. Press it. Press it. You know you want to. Press it. Yes. Ah. Why do I feel like that's going to be a puzzle mechanic? Hello, my fine fellow.
Excuse me, kid. I need to get upstairs.
I'm really sorry, miss, but Mr. Ackerman's not taking any more meetings right now.
I'm here on behalf of the Rosewater Post.
Did you make an appointment?
No, I just got the assignment.
Okay. Look, Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for his show. It starts in less than an hour. Why don't you come by and watch? You can come meet him afterwards.
I just need to interview him for a newspaper article.
Well, now, that's perfect. If you're going to write about him, you should definitely see the show. Trust me, he's a real dazzler.
Suppose it beats waiting around here.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess there's nothing else we can do for now. Oh, hello. There's somebody waiting down by the Opera House?